How was it pitched to you? Like, did somebody the directors just come up and say, "Hey, we want you," or?
The director actually emailed me, and James did, and said, "Hey, I'm a big wrestling fan. I just discovered indie wrestling. I think it's amazing. We want to film something. We want to do something with indie wrestling because they're in TV. They work in TV." And so they were like, we wanted this documentary. He's like, it won't be, we'll just shadow you around. You won't even know we're there. You won't have to pay for any of our travel. You won't have to pay us at all. We want to do this. And I was like, yeah, that's easy. I mean, it's just going to be me, and you guys are going to follow me around. So the pitch was good. I mean, it sounded good. I mean, of course, with everything, you're like, okay, whatever. But when it started going, it was cool.
Now, you mentioned Bill DeMott in the documentary, 9 out of 10. Like, did you ever get an answer why, or did you ever pursue one?
I heard some, like, nothing official, but I heard some people would say, like, he was very protective of the guys he trained, and if an outsider came in and did better or looked better, then the office would be mad at him, like, why aren't your guys as good as this guy that came from the outside? So he tried to manipulate it for his guys to be better because he was insecure about his job.
Jay, what do you hope that wrestling fans learn about indie wrestling through this documentary? And what did you learn about yourself during this documentary?
To me, the story's boring because it's just me. It's just. But everyone seems to be connecting to it, and everybody seems to be enjoying it. I showed it to my parents, and even my mom said, like, because I never really talk about work with my parents. She said, "I just learned more about you in an hour than you've told me in years." So like, I feel like people are getting to know me more than just what the viral clips they see, which is cool. It's very cool that people feel like maybe they know me a little better.
Another thing you touched on was the influence of the DDT Pro.
Yeah.
And how censorship's a little different here than over there. Do you feel like you see them influencing the American wrestling product more in the future? I mean,
they came over here during WrestleMania weekend and had a show of their own. That was well received. And then they had a match at the Joey Ryan Penis party for the Ironman title, and it was they did a lot of their antics. And good or bad, it was probably the most talked about thing. Whether people were positive or negative about it, was probably the most talked about match on the show. So it reaches people, and the good thing about a divide is now there'll be discussions and debates and arguments over it, and they'll just keep people talking about it.
One of the kind of obvious, if you want to put it that way, is WWE introduced the 24/7 title. Almost immediately, people were like, okay, it's the hardcore title without hardcore, or, hey, they were watching DDT Pro. Do you kind of look at things that way and see it being influenced on a not so obvious level, and maybe like...
Well, I mean, the Ironman title was a kind of a parody of the hardcore title anyways. They just never stopped using it, so that's why it's been a championship for almost 20 years, and it's had 3,000 champions. It's because they never went away with it once they brought it in. But yeah, I mean, I think I definitely when they had me win it and bring it to America, and then I did stuff with like Scott Hall and Rey Mysterio and the Young Bucks winning it. It helped a lot of hype for me. So I could see where they would say like maybe they could use it to hype their own guys and get their own guys over. For sure, it's definitely a tool. It's very social media friendly.
You said that you don't want to work for WWE anymore in the documentary. Where do you see yourself in wrestling in the next 5 years?
You know what? I might just stay independent. I was in a Lucha Underground contract that wasn't favorable, and I just got out. I'm not really looking to get into another contract. But the way I look at independent wrestling is that, there's going to be a lot of work out there. And I've told people this too, that are people like, oh, can you give me contacts to Cody or the Bucks because I want to try to get an AEW? And I said, well, I can, but don't be in a rush to it. Don't sign anything you don't want to, you're not fully happy with, because when they go exclusive, there's going to be a lot of work on independence, especially for girls, because the girls they sign a lot of the top girls. So I just feel like there's going to be a whole lot more work on the independents in the next 5 years with these exclusive deals going around. So I might just ride that out because the indies are friendly to my style, and I can excel at them.
One of the other things you touched on in the documentary was giving talent a place to work without them having to go to a super indie or worry about getting signed. Starting bar wrestling, does it make it any harder for you to work with talent when you know that there's going to be such a cycle of talent where you could almost compare it to like college basketball going to the pros, like where it's almost like a one and done where a talent gets hot? Maybe not that you don't want to work with them, but that you might not have as much time with them as you would want to.
Not really. I mean, that's a little bit the only thing about bar wrestling is that it gets frustrating at times, and I have to actually delegate some of the work out to others, is because everybody wants to work there, and everybody hits you up, and everybody wants to come every show, and I'm very stickler about only 6 matches. My show can only be 2.5 hours long because people are standing in a bar. So I feel like maybe if I don't use somebody, they might feel like I don't think they're good enough, but it's not the case. It's just spots. So I'm a little bit worried about me accidentally rubbing talent the wrong way because I don't book them, but it's really not about talent, it's about spots.
Last question, where can people get the documentary? Where can they watch it?
It's on a festival circuit right now, and then we're hoping to get some hype behind it and pitch it to a distributor, maybe a streaming service.